Okay, so I'm going to do a new video series on Sailwind. Being a retired Navy guy, I kind of like this game. It does have some slow parts. It's very realistic. The wind can catch you and throw you where you don't want to go. There's 3 levels: easy, medium. I would do medium, but I don't like this boat. It's cramped. Your starter boat in this isn't the best. And hard. Even at hard level, this boat's much better. But storms for the opening and first episode, we'll go with the easy. We'll get it started here. A couple things to keep in mind once you get the opening scene here. It's early access. There might be bugs. It's pretty reliable. Little things of the boat, the starter boat here, and all the boats. You notice weight does change the way the boat drafts. Keep that in mind when you're loading your heavy crates. If you put all your heavy crates on one side, you increase your chance of capsizing by a lot. This is the map. We are starting down at the lower right in Neverdin. That is your starting place. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right, but Gold Rock City is the major port on this map. There's 3 sections. This is the easy section, then there's a medium map and a hard map. You can sail between the 3 of them, but not in this boat. I wouldn't recommend it. You'll probably sink. But there's your introductory map. The Lion's Fang down towards the bottom right and Isle of Clearmind are both place markers. There's no ports there. All the other places have ports, including the Academy at the top left, which is the hardest one to sail to, because if you're not careful, you'll go right by it. And I'm going to put the map in there, and your compass. I'm going to put that in quick 2, and the cup I'm going to put quick 3. This has some introductory stuff. The important one is the wind direction. This shows you if you want which direction you want to sail and how to work with the wind. I know all this stuff, so bye-bye. Extra weight. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without. There are other boats. They don't interfere with you. It's fun to watch them sometimes because they're tailorable sailors. I've seen them capsize coming into port, leaving port, but the computer is kind to them. They automatically just reset themselves. He's going to crash into the pier, coming in at full sail. Good job. Crash! Oh. There is a thing on this game I can't use yet. This is relatively new, where you can have this guy load your cart. Very handy to load your boat. We'll see how that works eventually. At this point, I have no reputation. I can't do trade because I just started. And I can only do 2 missions. Now the first mission, I want to go to Gold Rock because it's the easiest one. So we'll take the dates. As you can see, it kind of shows you where the port is. Keep that in mind. We'll take that. It's only 13 pounds. That's a light one. And go to page 2. Tobacco. That's another light one. Now they do start out with the highest priced ones and work their way down. Usually. Well, this one doesn't. Oh, it's because it's different voyages. If you look at this, that's 19. If you go to the next Gold Rock one, it'll probably be either the same or less. You're 18. Reason these are more little different voyaging. I like to go to Gold Rock first because they have the best deals. So we'll take that one because that's the second best. So I got 2 missions. That's all I can get. So 3 big crates, 3 small crates. So let's take I like to stand them up on end because they stack better this way. I don't see many people doing this, and I have noticed over the longer voyages that this helps a lot. Get in here without falling into the water. Now notice where you put them, the boat leans. You have to balance the load. It's pretty realistic that way. This is my goat cheese. This is my food. I'm going to put that in the back and see if he capsizes. Nope, he did okay this time. Oops, let's put that back here. And right in there. Now if you lean these back a little bit and then go forward until it's red and then back up, they kind of snuggle them. That one didn't work. They kind of snuggle themselves right into place. Gotta play with, there we go. Alright, so let's get the next one. You can hit shift key to run a little faster. Let's put this one up front here. Right there. Perfect. Because we have 3 of these, so we put this heavy one, the other ones are light. We might want to think about putting this one in the back somewhere. Although we have the water, I think I will. I think I'll put this in the back on the other side. Looks like we're down on the bow just a little bit. So maybe I should put this one back here. Not only does it weight side to side, it weights fore and aft too. So now if you look up here, the bow's up a little higher, which is good. You want the bow up a little higher. Not by a lot, but... Now these 3 should be very light. They probably won't have a big effect on the boat. But you still want to keep it somewhat balanced, so I'm going to put 2 of them right there. You can move this around when you're sailing, if you're really careful. If you hit a certain wind that makes your boat lean real hard in one direction, you can counterbalance it by putting crates on the other side. It helps a lot to keep you from taking on water. But this is being the easy island, shouldn't be a big deal. It could happen, but how we doing here? Pretty good. So we're just going to put this one right in the middle. So here we go, we're all balanced. We want to go to Gold Rock. If you look, can't see it because it's in the bow. That's the Gold Rock Island, that's the big island. Just to the left of that, that is the Isle of Clearmine. And I don't think we can see it from here because the island's in the way, but Lion's Fang will be right over there. So if you get pretty good at directions here, the wind is right behind me, so this will work pretty well. I could probably I don't even have to push off. I'm just going to release both lines and I should start moving forward. And it looks like I am. Now there's sandbars over there, so you want to be careful. Let's lower the sail just a little bit, catch some of this wind. Steer a little bit away from that sandbar. Now the wind's behind us, so I want to release this to catch the wind as much as I can. Almost 90 degrees, as you can see the wind is right behind me. And the way I know that is that little pennant over there. I'm not good at up on all the sailing terms, so I don't know what that's called. But now I want to lower the sails completely, and then we'll be off. And this is a good strong wind, so this should be a relatively quick voyage. Now, remember where it showed where the port was. I can't move while I'm looking at it, but it's right above the G in gold. So I want to sail up right to the center of those 2 islands. You can kind of see them here. There's the one, there's the other one. Well, I want to go right towards that. Let's see here, right about there. Alright, so some of the things you have to watch while you're sailing is your rest. This is your rest line. You do not want to go and sail into port when you're real low here, because you'll fall asleep and crash. You want to be well rested when you approach the port. This is your water line and your food line. Those are both good right now. I don't have to eat or drink. It'll warn you when you get down here, hey, you're very thirsty or you're very hungry. This is your water right here. You start with 60. Excuse me. That should last you through a few voyages at the beginning here. But what I'm going to do is, because I am moving pretty good, as you can see, that's a good clip, because we're going right with the wind. And you can see a little different now already. I'll probably tighten this a little bit. Pull it a little bit tighter. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. There should be one up top here too. It's a little harder to see. But yeah, that's a good angle. That's a good angle. So every time you adjust the sail, you want to recheck your course. Make sure you're still on course. When you release this, it automatically keeps you on the course. It's basically tying it off. As you can see, it keeps moving. It's basically keeping you on the course. When you hit left, it keeps you on the course that the left mouse button, when you release it, it keeps you on that course. If you hit the right mouse button, you'll hear a click. It now locked the wheel. You don't want to do that while you're sleeping, because if the wind changes, you're going to be in trouble. So remember that when you release the steering wheel, left click so you don't hear that clicking sound. Now we're going to get into port here pretty quick. It'll be nighttime, but I want to rest up now. I may have to take a cat nap later, so we'll keep it running through this sleep so you understand kind of what's going on here. If you jump in this, if you're really loaded, you'll be underwater. Don't worry about it. Now you cannot wake yourself up. There'll be a spot on a long, I'll call them cat naps, because a lot of times you'll take little cat naps. But on a long sleep like this, you'll wake up real briefly. You can either hit the left mouse button and get out of bed, or just let it go and fall back asleep. In this case, I'll probably just let it go. I could get up and look, but I'm relatively sure I'm going to be on course. The big thing you want to listen to, there you go. It's very calm. Wow. One of the big things you want to listen for is sails flapping. You can kind of hear it a little bit, but if you hear a lot of sails rustling, you're not with the wind. It's telling you that the wind is not in your sails and something's wrong. So when you get that brief wake-up point, you can fix that. Now in this one I'm going to get out because I am well rested. We'll check our course here real quick. I'm a little to the port of the course I want to be, so we'll steer to starboard here a little bit. Right about there. Yeah, I can't really see. That's pretty much where I want to be. Right there. Double check it. That's good. The wind is still the same. Maybe a little bit further. It's hard to see these at night. I think we're good. So the wind stayed pretty constant there. You shoot the gap here. Once you get to know the islands, you'll know where to turn. I am thirsty and a little hungry, so I'll take my cup. You can do F or the left mouse. Excuse me. Make sure that you don't hold it like this. If that little drink signal there isn't there, you'll just dump your water out. So make sure you hold it where it says drink. You can either hit R or just use the left mouse button. But again, if you have it here, you pour the water out, so be very careful with that. And water is valuable. You do not want to waste it. And I'll take a goat cheese. Same thing. You'll just drop it. It's not as bad as water like that. See, you want to use the left mouse. And now our food and water is good. Now, this is a borderline case. It's too early for me to take a cat nap now, but I'm still sailing. And you'll see pretty quickly, depending on the wind that you have, you don't want to get close to port and not be tired. And that's a bad thing, because you'll be steering into port, pass out, and crash into something. Keep that in mind. You want to be, once you see the port, you want to at least have a third, maybe even a half. The worst case scenario, you can drop the anchor and rest outside the port, as long as there'll be a timeline on here, due in 3 days. This will update. I have plenty of time, and you have to check both of them. Both due in 3 days, both those shipments. So I have plenty of time. If I needed to anchor and rest, you have plenty of time. But sometimes if you get bad weather, this will get to due today. And that can be kind of tricky. You can turn them in late, but you don't get as much reputation. If for some reason, like if you have these stacked bad, if I put this crate on top of that crate, and I took a heavy roll, it could go over the side. You only deliver part of your load, you lose reputation. If you sink and don't deliver any of it, you lose a lot more. Now when you do sink, the computer magically rescues you. I think at this point it even gives you your boat back. Somebody rescued you, but the cargo's all gone. You take a big reputation hit, and it just doesn't go very well. The big thing in this game is to get reputation so you can take on the maximum number of missions, which I think is 5, and you get better missions, make more money. You can start trading in the markets, which I think we can just begin. We can at least look at it in this one. I could probably make it to port, but you know what? I'm going to take a real quick cat nap. The naps are nice because they fill in some time for you too. You have to kind of time this where you don't want to wait too long and be too close to port and not be able to make the adjustments you want to make. It'll probably be dawn when I get up here or close to it. Okay, not quite dawn yet. But now I'm fully rested, and as you can see I'm almost in port. So that was well timed. Now there's the gap I want to go in. I'm a little to port still. So let's do a little to starboard. There's the port entrance is right there. That was a fast voyage. Usually it's daytime when you see this. Now with this boat, the sail kind of gets in the way of what you're trying to see. You can just bring this up a little bit. You don't lose too much speed doing this. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. Sorry. You want this one. Pull it up a little bit. That's good. That way you can at least see where you're steering. You do lose a little bit of speed, but it's kind of more important to know where you're going at this point. Got to watch the little sandbars. You can run aground. Most times you can just push off. I say most times, sometimes you have to fight. See the little lit up area there? That's the port. That's the first sign that you're getting close. You'll be able to see that in the dark before anything else. Always a welcome sight after some of your long voyages that you get to later, where you can sail from one part of the world to another. Again, I don't recommend that with these boats. You probably could if you had a light load, but if you had a lot of weight and you hit a storm, you're going to sink. Okay, so now I'm starting to get ready to head up the channel here. I like to go up the bow. Try not to fall over the side, but I like to get up here and look. And there's the castle. You don't get to go in the castle. I kind of wish you could walk around in there. It'd be kind of fun. This is a lot easier. If it took a little longer, hopefully it becomes day here pretty soon. I mean, it's not hard to go in here. I got to go a little bit more to port here, I think. The mooring area is right in here, but there's some sandbars you have to watch before you get there. You just can't shoot right for the port. No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'll just stay on this course. Maybe a little bit this way, actually. A little to starboard, which was what I said at the bow. I was too far port. Yeah, that's good for now. We'll get past that sandbar and we may have to adjust again. There is a sandbar. I know there's port. You can't see it because it's not daytime. But there's a sandbar here marked by some poles. We'll see when we get closer. And there's also some over here. So there's a channel you have to go up the middle here. And I'm going to want to turn a little bit more to starboard. There, I think you can just now start to see him there. Yeah. Right at the bottom left of the screen, you can see those poles. And I'm kind of heading right for him, but I wanted to get around that little sandbar there so I can now turn more to starboard. So I can avoid, you can see him just over in front of the two ropes there. There's some poles sticking out. That's where the sandbar is. You got to get around that and Gold Rock before you can get into port. This would have been better if the wind wasn't so good. A little lighter as you come into port. And now you can see them. That's the sandbar markers there on the starboard or the port side. There's also some on this side which you can't quite see. Some over here. I can't see them. But as long as you stay away from these but relatively close, you're in the channel. And this is your city area. I know exactly where the place is where you have to turn in the goods. So I'm going to get as close to that as I can because I don't like to run them back and forth too much. I know there's a sandbar over here, but like I said, as long as you stay relatively close to this one, you're okay. Okay. I still don't see them over here, but I'm okay because I'm relatively close to that now. Once I get past those, you do want to start turning to port to get into port. I think I can see them over there just now. Yeah, right to the, if you look at the tip of the sail, you can see them right there. That little triangle at the end on the right of the sail there's a little pole, that's the sandbar. But once we get past this one, we can start turning. Now I'm going to aim, if you can see my cursor, I can't see my cursor, I guess it's because I'm steering. But at the end of this port, pier area is where where you have to turn them in. So I'm going to take it right to the end. Makes it a little trickier getting out of port. But we're around that sandbar now. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So we're just going to head straight into port. Now, as you get used to sailing at sea, it's a little deceptive. You don't think you're moving very fast until you get into port, and then the next thing you know, you're ramming into the pier. So you have to kind of keep an eye on it. Raise the sail sooner than you think you have to. Not that you're going to damage your ship, but it doesn't sound good. It's always a good idea also, I have time to do this I think, to tighten your sail when you're getting into port. Gives you better control. less chance of you flapping in the wind here. Okay. And I'm still heading pretty good. A little to starboard, I think, so we'll go back this way just a little bit. Now it's time to raise the sail. You can see how fast things are coming up. So let's pull the sail up. And I'm going to pull it up all the way. I'll just drift right into port. And again, it would be a lot easier if it's daytime. Okay, sail's all the way up. So I'm just drifting now. Grab the forward line. And once you get close enough, jump. And I'll tie up here. And grab the aft line. And jump. And I'll put that one right there. Now what you got to do to get your stuff tight is go to go here and pull by rowing backwards, or using the wheel backwards, and that pulls you tighter. Just let it go and it ties off. And the same back here. You want it pretty tight, but depending on the load, it's not always a good thing to have it real tight. And it'll fly around a little. That's good right there. You can just hit the left thing and it ties itself back off. Alright, so it's still nighttime. It's kind of unfortunate. Should be dawn real soon here. Now you can watch how the weight affects it. You see how far I have to jump right now as I unload things. And you just bring it into here. 1 of 3 delivered. Oh, here comes dawn. The birds start to sing, you know you're getting close to dawn. The second piece. And the third one is in the back, I believe. Right here. Yep, coconuts. I guess Gold Rock doesn't have enough coconuts, even though it's a tropical island. Alright, so then I have my tobacco, I think. Dates, I'm sorry, dates. Now when you get enough reputation, if you want to pay a couple, I don't know how much, you can use these guys and they unload everything for you. I have not been able to do that yet. That's been a recent update. And I haven't played this for literally 6 months. And what I'll do in this video is I'll set up the next voyage. But I won't actually take it. I think this is enough for the introductory video. Okay, so that should be it. So we're all unloaded. Now, I could probably do trade, although if you see, I only have 96 gold, so I don't have a whole ton of money right now. But this is how trade works. You're at Gold Rock. You want to decide which island you're going to, and the best way to do that is to see what missions are available. I like to go, keep in mind, the wind in this area generally goes from the east to the west. I'm sorry, from the west to the east. West to the east. So if you're going to sail from Gold Rock to Alnanim, it's going to be torturous. Neverdin also is going to be pretty bad. So, if you're real brave, you can go to the Academy in the top left. I like to go to Alchemist Island, or Albacore Town, keeping in mind again, west to east wind, so you want to make sure that you're coming up on the west side of those 2 islands, and not the east side, because if you happen to come up on the east side, you're going to have a heck of a time getting into the port. Speaking from experience. Alright, so let's put that back. And so let's see what we got maybe on Alchemist Island here. That's right at the top, so, oh, that's good money. It's light. These tobacco, it comes in the smaller packages. Doing 3 days, that's a good mission. So I'm taking that one. And you hear daytime came that people are waking up. Blue tobacco, another good mission. That's pretty handy. And I can take 3 now because I have more reputation. And what is this? Ooh, that's a lot of weight. Goods. Those are big containers, and that's a lot of weight. I don't think I'm going to take that one. That's the albacore tie. Oh, was it here? Let's see what else they have. Leather. That's bigger but narrow, and it's only 1 for 31. Let's see if that's less. So that's probably our best bet, unless I want to push the storage area for large. Goods are large, and a lot of weight. As much as it's only 36. This one is, I'm sorry, that one's 31. So it's a better bet to take this one. I can't show you because once you accept a mission, you can't cancel it. But the goods are gigantic square boxes. And I say gigantic, that's an exaggeration. They're about 2/3 wide as that and square. So they take up a lot of space. So I'm going to load this and then we'll end this video for today. Now I like to put these in the front because I call it snuggle, kind of drop right into place. And all these are small, so this is actually a good mission for the money. Sometimes you don't have any choice but to take huge packages, and it can get pretty weighty. Now I'll put 4 up front here, and then I'll put the rest in the back again, keeping in mind you want to keep things as even as possible. These all generally weigh the same. Now sometimes when you do this it'll slide off. Oh, we're good. Once it settles into place, it considers it tied down, so it's not going to move unless you hit an incredibly rough storm. You should be fine. But sometimes when you drop it, they do slide a little bit, so you have to play with it. And now these 4 I'm going to put somewhere like right here. To put 2 here. And put 1 on the other side. This is a small load. Usually, small loads for pretty good money at this level. And we're just about done here. I'll put this one over here. You can leave it sideways, it doesn't matter. It still stays just the same. Gives you more room to walk around back there, actually. Okay, so now remember, keeping in mind, I'm going to Alchemist Island. I had hardly any money, so I probably won't be able to do anything here. So this is how this works. Salmon, you make 40 profit. I could buy one too, and I could actually, nope, I can't afford that because it costs me 100. But if I buy 1 salmon, I can make 20 coins. They're all different. 20 coins off of that, so I'm going to buy that. And now this affects the economy, so when I buy 1, that price will change if you watch. See, now if I buy another one, which I'm not going to do, I'll only make 19 profit. So now that's, get receipt. I like to get the receipts because you can keep track. Now that's out front here. Now the goods boxes are the next size up from this. They're like that big except square. That'll give you a good idea of what they look like. If you try and put 4 of them on here, you're going to be walking on them the whole voyage. Alright, so we're all loaded. Now I have 28 left. I am thirsty and hungry. So instead of eating my food stores, I can go in here, and I like to buy a bottle of water anyway. So you just hit the R button, And it sure is now, because this, oops, this holds 5 drinks instead of 3. So now I will put that in my thing right there. I'll hang on to that. And I'll probably either drop the cup in the back of the boat just in case. Pork will give you a lot of food. It's 10. I can do that. I think this is lamb. Sorry. Lamb does too. The fish don't give you a whole lot. You can tell by the price. The more expensive things gives you more food. And my food is down pretty low, so I'm going to buy a lamb. Hit the R key. Left button to eat it. And whammo, my food is full. Okay, so that'll do it for this video. The next video will pick up and we'll sail from here to Alchemist Island. Not Alchemist, I think it was Alchemist Island. Yes, Alchemist Island, which is pretty much due south, keeping in mind that you want to come up on the right side of the island to make it easier, or the west side would be the starboard side as you're sailing south, but the west side of the island as you're coming down, because if you come up down and you're on the east side of it, you're going to have to tick and tack, I guess it's called tacking, to get into port, which can be miserable depending on the wind. So if I come out of here and head south, I want to head a little west of south. I don't want to miss the island, but we'll do that in the next video. Okay, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I'm a retired Navy Chief, that's why I like this game. If you like this video, go ahead and follow. This will be the first of many in this game. I look forward to doing some bigger voyages. I guess before we leave, this will be the first ship that I buy. I like this ship, has lots of storage area. You can go on it even though you don't own it. Lots of storage area. This is what my first goal will be. It'll take me a while because it costs 75 gold. And now, keeping in mind, these are not gold. They're ENIAC lines. You had to trade them in, and the exchange rate, you're not going to get 1 for 1. So it's going to take you a while. But that's it for this video. Again, subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the near future.